Good morning. Myself Manoj Kumar, Department of Business Administration, Dr. S.N.S. Lachmi College of Arts and Science, Coimbatore. I would like to explain my topic about Python numbers. Python numbers is a category that encompasses different type of numeric data. Python support various type of numbers, including integers, floating point numbers, and complex numbers. Python integer, Python float, Python complex, and type numbers in Pythons. So the Python integer is the whole number, including negative numbers, but not fractions. In Python's is a no limit to how long in an integer value can be. That means creating integer and checking time. Python float. This is a real number with a floating point represent that is specified by a decimal point. Optionally, the characters e, small e or capital E, the followed by a positive or negative integer may be appended to specify scientific notation. They can be created directly by entering a number with a decimal point or by using operations that such as division on integer, extra zero, present as the number, and end or ignore automatically. Example of performing arithmetic operators on the floating type. Here we will define a variable in a Python. Here clearly we have assigned a number and floating point number and a string to be a variable such as age and salary and name. A complex is a that means Python complex is a number that consists of real and imaginary parts. For example, creating complex and checking type. Number is equal to 6 plus 9. The print type is type and the back open the bracket and give a number basis. So Python number is a category that enhances the different types of numeric data, right? So the Python integer is the whole number including the negative number, but not a fractions. Example number is equal to -8. Print and type number. There's a class integers is equal to that means performing the arithmetic operators on this type. Example problems a is equal to 5 and b is equal to 6 and c is equal to a plus 5. Then print addition. That means give a result. It may be a 5 plus 6 it is equal to the lab. So these converting strings to numbers and strings in Python and the Pythons also the Python strings as a numbers we converted total number of strings using the various inbuilt functions like integers and float and etc. So the numbers was the numbers how numbers it will be Python's integer and float point numbers. That means Python has a pre-built numeric data types, the integer, floating point numbers, and complex numbers. In this sections, you will be learn about the integer and floating point number, which are the two most commonly used number types. We will learn about the complex numbers in a later section. That means we you can create it by integer by typing the desired numbers and you create a like integer like the value that is called a integer literal because of the integer is literally typed into the code. You may be already the familiar how to converting a string containing integer into the number using int value. That is especially the use when you working with user input following converts the string onto the integers. So these types the followed by the Python the right large number by typically group digital into the groups of three separated commas and decimal points. A number is a lot easier to read than Python. You can read commas to group it digital in underscore both of the following a valid ways to represent the number of million as a integer literal. And so the type conjugation in Python, we can convert one number into the another form by two methods using arithmetic and global and local Python variables. The global and local Python variables, local variable Python source, the one of the defined and declare inside a function we can call the variable outside the functions. Advantage of commands in Python, the global variables in Python are only they are defined declare outside functions. We need to use them inside a function. The functions have variable with name as defined and print and global space of the Greek folk Greeks. Python global is keyword that allows to modified and variable outside of the current scope. It is used to create a global variables from non-global scope. Global keyword is used to inside a functions only we can want to assignment when we want to change a variable. Global is not to be a printing and accessing. rules of the global world. If a variable assign value anywhere within the functions, assume the local, especially declare as global variables as only reference inside the functions are completely the global. Thank you for giving this opportunity. Thank you very much.